Welcome into another edition of Minot State Inside Access. I'm joined by head men's basketball coach Matt Murken. Coach, you guys are pretty early on in NSIC play right now. What do you like from your team so far, and what do you want to see your team improve on right now?
I think one thing we've been pretty consistent on so far this year is we've rebounded the basketball pretty well. I think we've out-rebounded our opponents in every game except for one in our first 8. So we've been pretty consistent on the glass. Our defensive efforts got to be more consistent. We've been up and down a little bit as far as that goes. Our offensive execution's been a little bit up and down at times as well. But we do have a lot of new pieces and guys that are playing in new roles and still learning how to play together and still learning exactly what we want. So there's a lot of things to be happy about, a lot of things I'm pleased with, but always room for improvement, especially when you're only in December.
You just touched on having quite a few new guys on the team. You guys took a trip to Puerto Rico about 3 weeks ago. Was it good to get the guys together? I mean, obviously you guys played 2 basketball games down there, but also to kind of just get together, have that bonding time?
Yeah, it was a great trip. It was a lot of travel. We were gone for the better part of a week between going to Rapid City and flying out of there and flying down to Puerto Rico. Some pretty good competition. You know, it made for a little bit of a long trip and a lot of road games early on. 6 of our first 8 have been on the road, but it was a lot of fun to get off the basketball court a little bit more with the young men on our team, and we had a lot of dead time. We played some games, saw some guys in a little bit different light. They showed their personalities a little bit. You know, we played a ninja game to kill some time when we were waiting for the bus one time.
Okay.
Pterodactyl. It's kind of a fun game as well.
Okay.
A lot of rock, paper, scissors, different contests on the beach. So it was a lot of fun.
All right. When did you know you wanted to be a basketball coach? Just getting a little, more personal type of question. When did you know that basketball was your thing when going forward?
Yeah, you know, I've been involved with basketball for as long as I can remember, shooting baskets in the driveway when I was a kid. You know, my dad's shooting on a big hoop and having a small hoop next to it that I could shoot on. And I've had a lot of fun playing the game. And I believe it was when I was in 9th grade, there was a basketball camp that I went to every year that was really good in teaching the fundamentals of the game. And I was blessed to have some really good coaches when I was younger that I still talk to today and still look up to, both the way they coach basketball and the way that they live their lives. And I was in 9th grade and I went back to that camp. I was always sneaking into gyms to shoot around when I was a kid, and I knew I could shoot in that gym. And there was a coach that was supposed to be there that ended up not being able to come, canceled at the last minute. So I think it was 5th and 6th graders, and the head coach asked me if I'd be interested in coaching as a 14, 15-year-old kid, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Yeah. So I enjoyed it, had fun, was a coach for a week, and I thought I could do this. This is a lot of fun, stay around the game. And as my career developed in college, I played on some great teams with some great players, and a lot of those great players beat me out and took a lot of my playing time. Yeah. So I was on the bench a lot and had the chance to start thinking like a coach, I think, early on, and knew it was something that I definitely wanted to do when I was done playing.
Do you have a favorite memory as a coach so far in your career?
Yeah, a lot of great memories. A lot of big wins. Playing in the national tournament as a player and as a coach. Coaching in the national tournament are some of my favorite memories, I think. But also just, this past weekend got back in touch with a few guys that I coached that are playing professionally that I kind of lost track of when they were. One was in China, overseas, and kind of got back in touch with him a little bit, and just catching up with some of the guys that I've either played with or coached in the past, and just seeing what they're up to in their lives. And a lot of those guys are in coaching now, and running into them and talking basketball or talking about life is, that's the best thing. I've been fortunate to coach a lot of really good young men that have grown up, and it's fun to see what they're doing in their lives now.
Last week I talked to Everett Robinson from your team. I talked to him about Clash of Clans a little bit. You told me he's a big fan of that game. Have you gotten an invite to join his clan, PKS?
I have not got that invite. I know our team plays a little Clash of Clans on the cell phones, but I haven't got the invite yet. I don't know if my gaming skills are up to par for those guys. I might be a detriment to the PKS clan.
It's just going to be exclusive with the players then.
Yeah, we'll see. I get a little free time outside the season or a little bus time. I might have to delve into it and see what I can do, but I don't think I'm going to get an invite anytime soon.
All right. Well, keep me posted on that one. When we come back, I'll be joined by head women's basketball coach Sheila Gerding.
Papa John, pizza maker. Peyton Manning, playmaker.
New season, Peyton. You got to have a kickoff deal to start it right.
Okay, like a superstition.
Yeah. You got any superstitions?
Score more points than they do?
It's not really superstitious.
It works.
Up your game with the new kickoff special. Get any large 2-topping pizza, only $10. Add a mega chocolate chip cookie for only $5 more.
Better ingredients, better pizza,
Better football.
Papa John's.
Don't let a sports injury leave your student athlete on the sidelines. Team up with the experts at Trinity Sports Medicine and put your champion back in the game.
I love going to games, I love educating, I love taking care of kids.
Serving student athletes across the region, Trinity's medical staff and certified trainers assess, rehabilitate, and reduce the injuries that put athletes at risk.
We're a part of this community, we're a part of these schools, we're a part of these kids' families.
Trinity Sports Medicine, always on your team.
Welcome back to Minot State Inside Access. I'm joined by the head women's basketball coach, Sheila Gerding. Sheila, your team's in a little bit of a tough stretch right now, but it's still early in the NSIC. Where do you need to see your team improve going forward throughout the rest of the season?
Well, we need to finish games. We've had a couple close ones that we've lost that we feel like could have gone either direction, and certainly had we done a few things a little bit better down the stretch, we could have come out on the winning side of those games. So just finishing games, and I think that comes with just people that are playing different positions right now and getting accustomed to that and making sure that we know where to get the ball in crucial moments, who wants the ball, and then executing the things that we need to execute offensively and defensively. So I'm really only going to get better with experience there. We do end-of-game situations in practice, and we need to do a little bit more of that and put ourselves through that. But it really comes down to mental focus and just getting the job done when the game's online.
A few weeks back, you guys traveled to Hawaii, got a couple wins there, but was the trip a little bit bigger than just the wins themselves? You know, the team got to bond a little bit as well.
Oh, absolutely. I just, when I came here years ago, one of my goals was to take a big trip every other year, for the simple reason that at the end of a kid's career, they don't really look back and probably don't really remember too many scores of a game. They might remember the big and special moments, but I can guarantee they'll remember being on the beach with their friends in Hawaii and all the bonding that we do and the things that the good times and the fun that we had together in Hawaii, and they'll look back at that as one of the highlights of their career. And I think that, honestly, as a coach, those are some of the moments you remember the most as well.
This team is pretty different than last year's team. What's been the biggest challenge so far with this new this new team that you have?
Well, one of the challenges has been injuries. With Chris Bowe getting hurt early, we had some other young kids step up and really play well for us in Hawaii, and now with Chris back in the factor, just trying to figure out where to put everybody and where's their best position and what's best for our team offensively, and just really kind of gelling as a group. And then every week it seems like we have another hurdle to cross as far as injuries and things to get over. And we just got to keep, trucking through and stay together as a unit and continue to grow and get closer and get tougher and find out what's really best for us offensively and defensively, and just move forward, overcome, and adapt.
When I talked to Robin Ursland last week, he's been around coaching for a long time. This is your 20th year. I asked him what keeps bringing him back, so I'll ask you the same question. What keeps bringing you back to head coaching?
Well, I think it's just it's the adrenaline rush of the games, seeing kids grow and develop as people as well as players. It's not even necessarily the on-court stuff with kids. It's more watching them come in as freshmen and not be able to look you in the eye because they're too shy to, standing tall and being, very proud of who they are as young ladies as they leave Minot State and move on to better things. Watching them, take what you've been telling them and finally have success with it and be excited for them and what they're accomplishing. And just watching kids have small successes and obviously the team victories and even going through rough times and hard times and just watching all that grow and establish and building relationships. I really think that it's more about the X's and O's of basketball. It's really about relationships.
So after coaching, do you see yourself doing anything else? Do you just want to coach for the rest of your life?
I see myself sitting in a boat, fishing,
Okay.
and relaxing and reminiscing about all the good times.
Okay. All right, Coach. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. That does it for another edition of Minot State Inside Access. That was the final one this year. Head over to the noon luncheon series at the Vegas Motel this Friday. Get your latest on Beaver athletics and join us there. It'll be hosted by Scott Cattell, the voice of the Beavers, and also join us on Friday and Saturday for a couple Beaver basketball games.